Hello, today I'll dollify the rest of the characters from Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope. BrickoMotion. Last time I promised you Chewbacca, and today I'm giving you Chewbacca. He was a difficult one to make, to say the least. On the legs, you can see I had to paint the fur, which I've never done before, and for the first time I think it turned out fairly well. Here we can also see Chewbacca's little secret, and that's that he actually has back pockets integrated into his fur, maybe? Moving on to the torso. Chewbacca is a bit of a tall guy, so I didn't think the standard minidoll torso pieces were appropriate for him, so I took one and lengthened it a bit. That required some green stuff, and then some cutting, then some paint, and then some more paint. And this is the end result. Again, not bad for a first try to paint fur. But the torso is not the only place where I used some green stuff. His ammo belt is also custom made out of green stuff, and then painted and blah blah blah. I'm particularly proud of the fact that I even added a bit of shine to the ammo packs, just to give the whole belt a bit of more believability. And then we move on to the head. Now, Chewie does not have a standard minidoll headpiece. I can tell you that. Lego has made a mold for the minifigures, which is... well, yeah, you can see how it looks on a minidoll. It doesn't look well, especially not from the side. That's the worst angle, and it has only bad ones. So, I had to model that as well. Again, green stuff on the minidoll, then some cutting off the excess, paint, some more paint, finish, and that's it. And even then, the head is not complete, because we need a hairpiece. And this is probably the weakest part of this minidoll, because this is the only earless hairpiece that came close to resembling Chewbacca's real hair, or what should be on top of his head. I added a few yellowish details to the hairpiece because I thought that would make it blend in with the head a bit more and make it look like it's all fur and not fur and hair. I'm not sure where my expectations were for this mini-doll. I knew Chewbacca would be a very hard one to dollify, and I kind of think I succeeded in dollifying him in the sense that he does look recognizable, but I don't think he's that accurate as I would like him to be. I don't know. I guess I don't have a strong opinion on how this one turned out, so you can judge him as you want. And the best thing about him being done is that we can take a group photo of him and his friends. First with his bestest best buddy Han, and then with the all four together. The first time we meet Han, we also meet Greedo. He gets turquoise pants and a shirt. It's like a onesie or something, I'm not sure, with yellowish stripes on the sides, and he has an orangish vest. I put in some pockets to add a bit more detail to it, and this is what hurts me the most. I had to paint his hands. There were no minidolls with greenish hands. And the thing is, when painting minidolls' hands, it's not particularly hard to do. It's that if you put anything in those hands at any point, you will probably damage the paint job. Here, I gave him a blaster, and now I will take it off, so you can see the damage it has done. This is the reason why I avoid painting hands if I can help it at all. I intentionally did not want to use too saturated colors for him, but I think in the end, I desaturated them a bit too much, so I think the minidoll would look better with more vibrant colors. It would just pop a bit more, and that would make it more interesting. Pew pew! Oh, and he's gone. Nah, what a waste of paint. And I still don't know who shot first. What a bummer. Darth Vader. This was a doll I knew I had to nail, so he got a lot of my attention. It's not a that hard mini-doll to make. The first thing you need to do, cover everything black, including the shoes. And then you just leave them, so we're done with the legs already. The torso is a bit more complicated, but not incredibly so. He got the life support panel, a belt, and this shoulder thing, something, which goes all over to the backside as well. Looks very intimidating. Very, very, very. Just because there is going to be a cape over all of that, I did not skim on the details. I painted them because they needed to be there, even if nobody sees them. Yes, I'm using a minifigure head because this helmet does not look good on a mini doll. All of these helmets were not made for mini dolls. The biggest challenge on this doll was the life support panel, because it has so many tiny little buttons, and during the many movies, Vader has had many incarnations, many costume changes that basically all look somewhat the same, but there are subtle differences, and I wasn't gonna bother making a torso piece for each and every one of them, so I just kind of mashed them together into this one torso that was supposed to be recognizable and similar to all, but not identical to any of them. And what would Vader be without his helmet? Just a regular guy. We can't have that. During the years, LEGO has made 2 Darth Vader helmets. The second helmet is a 2-parter. One part goes beneath the head, and the other one on top of it. Now this helmet, in my opinion, looks better, but it is also bigger. And while on a minifigure it can look somewhat okay, on a mini doll it just looks enormous. I find it comically large, and that's not really what we are going for with Darth Vader, so I will be sticking to the first helmet, the slightly tinier one. I still think it's a bit too big for the mini doll, but that's what I have to work with. And with a ginormous helmet on. Oh, the Force is pulling me to do something. I can't resist. This is what a Mer Vader would look like. Creepy, cute, and terrifying all at the same time. And now I want to see all of the Star Wars characters as mermaids. I might do that. Another villain from this movie, Grand Moff Wilhuff Tarkin. Luckily, at least his pants did not have to be painted, so only the torso. I myself am not sure why I had to put those lines onto his uniform. I think it would have looked fine without them, but it was something that was stronger than me, so I wasted half an hour of my life putting them on. And I hope you can appreciate the tiny blue, red and yellow dots I've managed to paint on him. For his face, it was very important for me to get a neutral expression, and that's not that common amongst LEGO mini dolls, so I had to use a bearded face and remove the beard. And this is the end result. I think the mini doll turned out good, even fairly realistic, and that's it. Nothing more to say about him. We can move on to maybe the second most famous helmet wearer from this movie, a Stormtrooper. For him, I painted the legs white and then added on the black details. I skipped some black details because of how awkward it would look, but then on the torso, I'll let myself loose. Again, I tried to make him look like a Stormtrooper, but not any one in particular, so that I could reuse the torso piece over and over and over again. And it was really important to get a torso that has white hands, because the Stormtrooper needs to hold on to his blaster. How else would he miss all the time? So he got Prince Charming's torso, because this torso is really good looking. I like it. And for the helmet, I'm again using the contraption and a minifigure head, because, again, minifigure helmets not designed with mini dolls in mind. So, minifigure headpiece it is. And what could I possibly do with a single Stormtrooper? Nothing. That's why I made another 2. So now, missing can be a group effort. Those helmets look way too big for them. But I'm not bothered by it so much. What I was bothered by is the paint around their knees. I think I didn't do a good enough job of that. So I tried to rectify it by making them all alternate legs, which would just be the original white Lego legs with a few added on lines. As a leg piece, I like those better than the first ones, but I think a Stormtrooper looks better with white boots, even if they are not perfectly symmetrical. So I think I'll stick to the first ones. And who's going to stop all of these bad guys? Luke Skywalker as a pilot. To be a pilot, he will need an orange pilot suit. The legs have a few details themselves, and they are not bad. if I may say so, but the real star of this outfit is the torso piece. I actually modeled the whole suit more on the newer style of pilot suits because I like them more than this one from the original trilogy. But it still has all of the same elements, like the life support box and this black hose that goes down into the pocket. I have no idea what that is all about, but I painted it. It matches up really well. I'm happy with it. And I will just take Luke's head and we'll put the pilot helmet into his hand. You might notice that he has dark blue hands. That's the same thing with Darth Vader. There were no mini dolls with black hands, and I really wanted them to be able to hold on to something. So dark blue was what I had to work with, so I took it. Even though I'm not a big fan of these pilot outfits, I do think this one turned out well. I'm happy with it, and I can't wait for him to hop into his X-Wing and pew 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 pew, destroy the Death Star. Yay! Now that everyone's rejoicing, well, almost everyone, we need to prepare Leia for the ceremony. She gets a ceremony outfit that is completely different than her previous outfit. She gets a new torso piece. That's again white with silver details, but it's completely different. I actually like this torso piece, although I think I overdid it a bit with the necklace. But with Leia's head and hair, she's really ready to give out some medals. As always, she looks absolutely gorgeous. I like the simplicity of her dress, and it looks good. She would also make a fantastic mermaid. I'd maybe just change the torso piece, but otherwise she would make a good mermaid. On to the celebration. Luke and Han get medals, we all rejoice. I think I dollified these Star Wars characters better than in the previous video, which is mostly due to their outfits actually having some details that I could work with, so I didn't get bored while painting them. And in case anyone was wondering, yes, I would be able to feel the Force if I were in a galaxy far, far away. And my lightsaber would be purple, but I wouldn't be able to do anything with it except cut the fruits and look cool. Bye bye.